All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to talk about a special subject today. Interrupted because I've been doing my calls, but I want to talk about a special subject today. I'm bringing you this from, damn it. As soon as I moved it over to that side of the mobile command center, my feed started going caca. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to talk about a topic right now. I want to talk about a special subject, and that is that leads might suck now. I came up with this theory earlier today and the evolution of the internet lead. First, I want to identify the difference between a lead and an inquiry. And the best way to describe it would be the similarity between, say, sales. And this would be as such. In the world of car sales, you have two kinds of leads that come in: the leads that walk on the lot and the leads that click online. Now, the leads that click online are probably many and crappy. Now, of course, if they go in through the application process, then that is a lead. But if they just click online with a curiosity about the value of the car, the vehicle, that is clearly not the same as someone who comes in and purchases, or comes in and walks on the lot and walks around. As the guy from downtown, as the guy from Mitch and Murray, played by Alec Baldwin in the greatest movie ever, Glenn Ross once said, "A man don't walk on the lot unless he wants to." This is so true when it comes to the internet lead. You see, in 2003, there was this website. I think it was called Home Gain, or it's called Home Gain. I think they're still around. So go ahead and click on it, but you won't get any leads. In 1990, or sorry, 2003, there was a website that would go out and say, find out how much your home is worth. As a web, I guess you call it Web 1.0. And it would say, find out how much your home is worth. Click here, fill out this information. And what would happen is that if you were clever enough to get your name and to get your cell phone to refresh, this is before, like refreshing was as often. This was a reason why I had the BlackBerry over the iPhone and any other device, was that BlackBerry was like instant versus the iPhone. The iPhone wasn't even around until '07. So, but this was definitely 2004 or 5, maybe around that time. Anyhow, what would happen is a homeowner would go interested in the value of my house, and then there was like a little questionnaire that said, when are you thinking of selling your house? And it would say 3 to 6 months. They would leave their name, number, and email address. Now, when they left that, it would happen at 3 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock at night. All of a sudden, my phone would go ding, and it would have a special message. It was a Nokia 8500 or something, so it was a good phone, beautiful phone. What happened was, when they come in and they would put in their information, I would jump up in the middle of the night. Like, there were so many nights where my wife would be like, hit me on the side of the head, home game, I think it was home game, or homes.com, house values or something. And she would hit me, and I'd be like, and one of us would get up, run to the computer, and fill out a response. It was a marketing package, or it was a template, and it was kind of pre-existing template that said, "Hi, thank you for your inquiry. Here's what to expect. Here's what I do. Thank you very much." I kid you not, I would get 2 listings a month from this site. And it was a 25% referral fee, which I wasn't complaining. 25% referral fee, who cares, man? I would gladly pay a 25% referral fee for 10 listings a month right now, inventory being the way it is. But here's what I'm getting at. That was the age of the internet, pre-marketing, right? We've gotten so much better with regards to marketing and creating all of this content to get the consumer to taste better. It's almost like artificial sweeteners when it comes to sodas and candy, where we're tricking and fooling the mind into thinking that what you purchase into now, marketers online are getting better and better and better at making the purchase harder to turn down. And couple that with a couple different variations, and this is what I'm leading to, is that why internet leads might suck now versus later. So 2003, 2004, 2009, whatever, right around 2008, 2009, I sensed a shift in the market. Zillow, I think, started coming around that time, right? The market crash started coming around that time. So we had a market where Homeowners who wanted to sell were pretty much hiding from the general public because they were underwater and they weren't answering their phones. So cold calling and door knocking still worked to find homeowners. I shifted my business to mainly foreclosures, and I was rocking hundreds of foreclosures. But I never want to do that again because being a REO king is horrible. Like you don't get, trust me, those guys who were like rocking it in the crash of the market, we were hurting. It was worse than it could. It was horrible, just horrible. I never want to see it again. But the transition from the internet, and then come the market recovery around 2012. Zillow is now dominating. Agents now, Zillow had started originally as a platform where you can market your listing online, and they were dominating the internet space. Now it shifted to where Zillow was selling you advertising slots. Now here's the difference on Zillow, especially. Zillow was the disruption, by the way, when it came to what we perceived as leads. 2008, 2009, 2010, Craigslist ads. And you can see these trends based on the real estate gurus and what they're pumping out as like their big product, right? And it went from like Craigslist ads. If you go like 2009 to 2012, Craigslist ads were the hot thing, but then all of a sudden Craigslist ads were also not the hot thing because people were getting scammed on Craigslist. You dig? So it started getting, as at the same time it was a good rap, it was also getting a bad rap on that front. So Craigslist ads, enter Facebook. Facebook started getting really good, starting getting creating that algorithm where it could target the demographic. It was starting to get data and understanding the consumer and creating those leads, what we thought were leads. Going back to the analogy and the comparison of a sales funnel for a car dealership, there is the people who walk on the lot. There are the people who click on an inquiry or click on an ad, and then you capture their information, or they want to know more, they fill out their little form, but that's it. And then there's the ones who fill out the application online. They're like, I want to find out more about buying a car. But that was super, those are probably super rare in the car world. But again, we're talking smaller ticket items, so there's probably lead distribution funnel in the car world of car sales for those leads. And the people who get the Glengarry leads are the closers. They're for closers only, okay? So the internet lead of today, or inquiry, we have to, I'm on a one-man mission right now to convince all of you real estate agents to stop calling internet inquiries leads. One of the biggest problems I have right now, one of the biggest problems you have right now, or many of you have, is lead conversion. You've heard of that, right? I've got plenty of leads, but I can't convert them. And I'm telling you, if you're referring to internet inquiries that have come since 2016, we're no longer talking about an individual who says, I'm interested in selling my house. The leads have shifted. The homeowner, the consumer, has now started to identify that when they click on that button, they're going to be put into a list. So the homeowners who are interested in selling their house aren't really clicking on that anymore. Remember, in 2012, 2013, Facebook ads were coming, and you could kind of start running Facebook advertising for your listings, and you would get inquiries. You would also get leads. That's right. In 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, all of a sudden the real estate industry was throttled with Facebook leads, how to generate Facebook leads. And really all it was a combination of good photography, a landing page or a squeeze page, and a sheet that would automatically send you their information. So here's what the consumer would see in 2014 to 2016, 2017, 2018. They would see a beautiful picture that said, find out how much your home is worth. Now, if the homeowner saw this on Google homepage or on Yahoo homepage, and they saw find out what your home is worth, they'd be like, that's a pop-up ad from a real estate agent, I'm not clicking on it. So the consumer was programmed to ignore that banner ad because they knew it was an advertising slot. And they got trained over Web 1.1, Web 1, Web 2, whatever, until about 2013, 14, 15. Then we got Facebook coming in. And Facebook is now putting it in their feed. Now, the homeowner somehow manages to forget that those also are paid pop-up ads, and they're curious about the value of their home. And when they click on it, because marketing got so good at making it look good, it was no longer a little banner, it was in their feed. And they would use icons and little emojis, and it would just somehow it had a little bit more addiction factor to it. There was a little more stickiness to it, right? And when you click on it, because marketers are very good now, you would click on it and they would be like, find out how much your home worth. There's no obligation, no cost. And at the very bottom, they wouldn't even bother scrolling because it was a full page picture. All it would be is name and address. And they were thinking that they were getting a free market analysis, when if the homeowner would have just looked a little bit harder, they would have seen brought to you by real estate agent. Here's the license number. And still they would have been like, no, this is really easy, because Facebook was giving me an opportunity to click one button and submit my information. So now, you know how it's like sign up with Facebook or log in with Facebook, find out how with Facebook. That's how Facebook is doing it. They click on the button, they make you click on the button, and you give them your information when you click that button, because pretty much the terms of service are, you sign up for Facebook, we got everything you want, and we can do whatever the hell we want with it. You want privacy? Go somewhere else. Facebook is going to use your data. They know how many cats you got. They know what kind of cat food you got. They know everything, right? Because you're doing everything. It's Big Brother watching you. So the marketing and the algorithms and all of the information was able to give the consumer exactly what they wanted, so that they would click a button, submit their information, and you would get them. Now, I know personally of many, many homeowners in my database who on the daily, they check the news, they check stocks, they check the weather, they check their horoscope, and they check their Zillow estimate. Now with the technology I'm using, they'll check their price value, right? I get them off of Zillow onto my program, but they'll check it, and I can see that they check it. And if you guys are one-on-one students, I'll show you how to do this, because you can see when they check it. But here's the catch. We have gotten so good at doing this that now homeowners or consumers, we have gotten so good at generating inquiries from the internet. Zillow calls them leads. I think we should have stopped this in the beginning and didn't call them leads. We should have stopped calling them internet leads at around 2015, 2016. I know there was a time where I was spending probably $1,200. Me personally, as a single agent, I wasn't spending this money on an office, in an era where I was spending about $1,000, $1,200 on Realtor.com, Trulia, and Zillow. So that kind of dates you how old it was, with Trulia and Zillow being separate. But I was spending that money, and I would get a name. Sometimes I get an email address. Sometimes I get a number. But when I tracked them down, when I actually followed them, you know this. You know this for any agent who's been in the business, you know, for the last 10 years and has started doing it in the beginning, and now they're doing it now. You know that something has changed with what you would call the conversion of those inquiries. Here's a study. I wish I could find that study. They showed it to me at a Century 21 convention, and I'll try to demonstrate or try to paraphrase this study. In, let's say, 2013, Zillow, and these numbers are all skewed, but I want to kind of demonstrate. When I saw this, I was like, whoa. The internet was capable of, let's say, generating 6 million leads, 6 million internet inquiries. They call them leads, I call them inquiries. 6 million inquiries, but there were only 4 million homes sold. This is in 2014. I'm assassinating the study, but it's very similar. The gist of it is very similar. 2014 internet inquiries were about 6 million, but there were only 4 million homes sold. But that's okay, right? So there were 2 million stragglers, 2 million flakes. Now it's something like 18 million internet inquiries, but only 4 or 5 million homes sold. That study, and I wish I could find it, and if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, it was like a blotter or a scatter chart, and when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, that explains everything. The ability for internet marketers to obtain the information of a consumer or a user of the internet, let's say, which is pretty much everyone on the planet, for a user of the internet, the ability for a user of the internet to be tricked by a real estate company, whether that's Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Facebook ads, whatever you're doing.com, the ability to get them to click on that has increased dramatically, but the amount of homes that have sold have not changed, which means either we've got a large database of garbage or supply and demand has gone completely out of whack. That's not the case. As a matter of fact, now I'm reading this to you in 2018 because I think it's time for me to declare it for the world that internet inquiries. See, we're trying to break this habit. It's a bad habit to call internet leads. Those two words don't work together. The only way you can call an internet inquiry a lead is if they say, "Hi, agent," your name. "Hi, agent. This is Joe Blow homeowner, and I'm interested in selling my house on Main Street. Can you come out and tell me about the home?" That is an internet lead. If you get something from another state and they say, "Hey, I'm interested in referring you this home. Are you interested? Do you fall for it?" I get them all the time, and I'm like, "Ooh, I'm interested. I'll call it." And they'll be like, "Yeah, we're looking for agents in your area. Are you still in Lake Elsinore?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." "Oh, well, where are you?" I'm like, "What does it matter? You got a lead for there too? Are you trying to sell me something?" "No, I'm not trying to sell you something." Bullshit. Click. Right? You know it. We, as agents, as marketers, as a little more savvy than the average consumer, kind of see it coming. I've seen this with bots. Don't even get me started on bots. People want to talk about bots. I mean, turn on the robots. Here we are as real estate agents trying to figure out a way to make our lives easier implementing robots, yet when we hire the robots, we don't want to be put out of business by the robots. So let's figure out a happy medium where robots cannot take over the world and take over our jobs, but they can do some of the stupid mundane jobs. Let me tell you something about bots. If you've got 10 contracts, active contracts on listings or buyers or sales, and you are a single agent, then say bots. You can play with bots just a little bit. But if you are not generating massive amounts of inquiries on the internet, don't use bots. I'm only 1 year before I was molested by a bot, if you know what I mean. And those of you who have been there, you know what it feels like. You're talking to someone and then suddenly you're like, this isn't a real person, right? Have any of you guys been molested by a bot yet? You will. And you'll know it. And you'll feel dirty afterwards. You'll be like, really? I don't like the way this ended. You want to know who's got a really good bot? Is Ryan Searhand, $1 Million Listing. Ryan, if you watch this, you got really good robots working the system. But what happens is you get this internet inquiry and you want something to respond because you don't want to respond or because you're busy. Are you busy? Then if you're busy, turn on your phone and get to it. Find someone else who can share the data. If you are that busy and you're generating inquiries, the internet inquiries, there's rumors about you have to get them within the next 60 seconds or they're gone. But who's to say that they didn't already do this 60 seconds prior and there's someone who's already there? Who's to say that internet inquiry hasn't already done this 100 times already and that they're lost? So here we are thinking that there's this brand new sprouting bean from the ground and no one has touched it, untouched by human hands, and suddenly they've come to you direct, and unless you get them first as a virgin, they're done, right? I don't feel that way. I beg to differ that the internet inquiry can wait. But I don't agree that they can wait forever. You got to hurry up and get them. Best thing would be if somebody asks about your listing, hurry up and get back to them. If you're in an appointment, hurry up and get back to them. If they're not willing to wait 20 or 30 minutes, if they disappear after 15 minutes, what was that, right? Do you really need to reel in that fish the second it bites? No. If they're a good lead, they'll wait. But I know a lot of people be like, no, James, you got to be within 60 seconds. That's not the point of this topic. The point of this topic is that internet leads might suck. So this evolution that came about, we got better and better and better at marketing to the consumer of the internet. And the consumer of the internet likes to see things online and click buttons that they may or may not be qualified to click. They see a beautiful home, find out more about this home. They're like, ooh, that looks like my ex-wife's house. Let me click on that. And they click on it, find out more about this home, and they fill out, or whatever you're doing, however the step 2 is. They're not, like I said about the man walking on the lot for the car, they're not walking on the lot. They're just clicking, I'm curious about these photos. I'm getting decorating ideas. I'm a renter. I have bad credit. That looks like my ex-wife's house. I'm not interested. I'm not saying internet leads suck. I'm saying they might suck. Here is what I need each and every one of you YouTube people to validate in the lines below. And tell me if I'm wrong. This is kind of a question for the crowd. In the YouTube comments, can you do this for me? Say, yes, they suck, but they used to not to. They used to be good, but now they suck. Have you also shift from internet inquiries being viable to now suddenly they suck? I've got a one-on-one student that kind of made me aware of this situation. This one-on-one student was doing like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 deals a lead a month, and he was working under a team, which the team thing, the team theory, the team situation is starting to disintegrate. I guarantee you, this whole group and team thing, it's on very few people successfully, and what a lot of people are finding out is it's a lot of work. It's a whole nother, it's for another thing. But this team thing, he's part of that. He joined a team as a new agent. He was making, God, he was saying he had like a $60,000 a month. I'm like, dude, the Godfather bows to you, right? I'm saying, that's awesome. He goes, no, but James, it's not like that anymore. That's why I need one-on-one coaching. The cheese has moved. I was going from getting all these leads to all of a sudden not. And he didn't change his advertising budget, but now the internet inquiries have shifted. I'm like, well, what about this? He goes, it's not working. I'm not getting what I used to get. Now they're harder, they're dodging, I can't respond. It's just changed, doing the same thing, where his team leader was paying for Facebook ads, buying into the top quality. There's a couple of Facebook ad guys out there who got the game really good, but that cheese has moved. So what happens is all these real estate gurus and technology experts, they jump on that bandwagon and they ride the hell out of that thing and they market the hell out of it to you, and they make it look so good that you buy it. So come 2013, 14, those early adopters evolved and made it look really good. But I promise you, 2018 end, 2019, scrambling is beginning, where that, I keep James talking about the cheese. Who moved my cheese? You gotta watch a video tube. Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer something. Anyhow, it's a good book. The back to the basics fundamentals versus like someone who follows the shortcuts and takes the shortcuts. It used to work. It used to, but that cheese has moved. Home Gain or whatever, the housevalues.com, 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now those things would work, right? Now it doesn't. What has remained consistent from the very beginning and has not changed at all? Think to yourself. Door knocking and cold calling. Now I've shown you over the course of time that there are 2 ways to get a lead. Okay? 2 ways to get a lead. You go out and you buy it, or you go out and buy it, or you go out and get it. You buy it and it comes to you, you go out and get it, and you go get it. Now, there are thousands of ways to buy it. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Facebook ads, bus benches, shopping carts, sponsorships, sign twirling, Kiwanis clubs, past clients, sphere of influence. And then there are thousands of ways. The problem with this is that you gotta wait for it to come to you. And it's a moving target, right? The very few of them has stayed. Even open houses, right, are unpredictable. You can't do an open house in the same house one day, get tons of leads, and then the next day it'll be 0. So it's not predictable. It is not predictable to find this passive method and duplicate it over and over. And Facebook ads, in my opinion, has been the longest running method marketed to agents as a viable source of ever that I've seen. Every one of these cheeses move rather quickly. This one, Facebook advertising in particular, has stayed the longest. Now, I'm going to have a theory for that, and I'll go over there real quick. And then going out and getting it, door knocking, cold calling, by phone or face to face. That's it. Expires for sell by owners, going door to door, face to face. I generate most of my leads, majority of my leads from this. Although I do spend money. A lot of people don't know this, but I spend a couple bucks here. I throw a couple things here. I've got my shopping carts, not shopping carts, but I got the dividers. I do things here because this is still long term. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying that if you need to get money yesterday and you're running out of money at the end of the month, you need to go out and get it. There's a certain point where you say, you know what, I, it's all I can stands and I can't stands no more, and you go out and get it. When enough is enough and it's not enough and you've had enough, you go out and get it. This is where I shine. This is where my superpowers. This is my one thing. I'm not talking about production. I'm not talking about being the number one agent, this and that. I'm talking about lead generation, the ability to generate leads. I have proven over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I set down a specific, like, here's what I do. I, James Festini, generate a lead, a bona fide listing lead, not to be confused with an internet inquiry, but a genuine listing lead in every 30 minutes. If you ever watch my live cold calling or my live door knocking, you will see me generate a lead every 30 minutes. I've proven it. How? Just trust me. Door knocking and cold calling, I have a formula. If you guys are interested in finding out how to do what I do offer one-on-one. Very, very limited. If you guys are like, if any of you guys and gals are about to spend more than $500 a month on internet marketing and lead inquiry generation, press hold on that system and pay me $1,500. This is October 20th. I'm going to date my video. October 22nd, 2018. You can buy me for $500 a month for the next 3 months. High probability that 6 months from now, that will not be possible. I will raise my rates because I'm starting to get more in demand. And the more in demand, I still have a real estate business to run. That's my pitch. So here's my theory on why internet leads, internet inquiries on Facebook have maintained such popularity above the history of all other lead generation sources or inquiries in the history of mankind. First, we've got the evolution and the growth of places like Zillow and Facebook in a market that has been recovering. So, and also in a market where internet marketers are being educated, groomed, and trained to make money online. Never before in the history of real estate or in the history of mankind have we been so conditioned to be creative and clever for the purposes of selling our knowledge or our skill or our talent and our ability to convert and create squeeze pages, landing pages, clever online marketing campaigns, schools, seminars, webinars, products, online training courses. You follow my drift? It's never happened. So the crash of the market 2008, before that, I call that Web 1.0. I don't know what Web 1.0 is, but I call that before the big recession and after the big recession. So now we've got 2008, the bottom, 9, 10, 11, 12, and now we've got this rise of money and knowledge. And well, I'm going to blame people like Gary Vaynerchuk and all this entrepreneurialism with online internet lead providers, the growth of podcasts, the growth of YouTube channels, the growth of the independent entrepreneur and the independent lead or inquiry creator or promoter on Facebook or Zillow or Trulia. I mean, it's like a perfect storm of all of these really good reasons why you can come into the real estate business and wonder, where can I get more listings in less time? Where can I generate homeowners who are interested in selling their house and be automatically steered to the obvious, Facebook. Facebook is right now, 2018, the king of providing data on individuals who are users of the internet who have said, I am a homeowner, I live in this territory. I mean, God, what could we do with that in 1993, right? You know they're a homeowner and you know they might be interested and you can market to them, they have equity. I mean, we used to pay heavy for that data back in the 90s and earlier, but now at the click of a button and a little bit creativity, or maybe you spend money on someone else. And so there's this trend. I noticed this about 2 or 3 years ago. There was this trend of companies, startup companies, creating companies that this is their primary goal, and you know exactly what I'm talking about because there's a lot of them. Some of you guys are like looking at, I'm on my YouTube, guys. Go to youtube.com/James Festini. That's what I'm talking about. This replay may or may not exist, but it will be on YouTube. Okay. So I'm giving you guys the theory as to why internet leads might suck and why you should stop calling them leads. They are now officially no longer such a real thing as internet leads. They are internet inquiries. There are people who are very drawn and magnetically focused on like clicking accidentally or purposely on an image. It is not an image, and if you looked at your ad that you're spending on Facebook, it says, you want to sell your home now? Click here. I don't think it says that. I think it says, look at these fantastic photos. It looks like crack, doesn't it? You like crack? You really like crack? Click here for more crack. Like, I like crack. It's 1 a.m. I just want one hit of crack. Endorphins, right? So a combination. All of this perfect storm of the internet consumer who now just touches a button and it gives it to you. And you receive that inquiry and you automatically think, wow, I'm getting all of this traffic. But remember that study I was talking about where the amount of internet inquiries that were generated just 4 years ago has quadrupled, but the amount of homes sold has not. So a study like that will tell you one thing. The ability for a marketer to capture the consumer's information and sell it back to you as an agent has never been more popular. But with that kind of massive amount of data being sold back to you, two things are happening. They're either crap or they're crap that has been sold from multiple places. So these people are going to Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Facebook. They're clicking and they're adding everything. I mean, how many apps do you know that you've signed up for and you don't even know? You're like, I didn't know I bought that. Today, oh my gosh, today I realized I was paying for 2 YouTube accounts. I paid for YouTube Red. I didn't realize. I mean, how easily and gullible we are in this day and age where we just give our information freely to save ourselves 1 or 2 mouse clicks. The ability for marketers to convince you as a real estate agent that this is a smart investment because look at this guy and what he's doing. Well, this guy and what he's doing, they're using reports and statistics based on some study that was done in maybe 2016, 2017, maybe even early 2018. But there was a shift that happened in August of 2018 and everybody knows it. This shift is called the property values are no longer increasing as fast as they were. The property buyers are no longer coming in droves. There are no more multiple offers. There's this other perfect storm culminating between marketing you for your internet inquiry dollars, right? Because you guys want to get leads. I'm seeing it. All the signs are there. And if you don't believe me, don't subscribe. If you do believe me, you're like, this guy's onto something. And then say in the comments below, this guy's onto something. And then right next to it say, my leads used to be good. Now they do suck. Because I know, I see this firsthand from so many people that the internet inquiry has changed. It's altered. It's shape-shifted. It's no longer where you think it is. What has stayed the same? Door-to-door and telephone prospecting. My script has never been more effective than it is today because it is in and out. I am a virtual postcard. I am a human postcard. I am a virtual pop-up. I am a human pop-up. I am the equivalent of Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, and Facebook advertising in the flesh. So what I do is I pop up, hi, you thinking of selling your house? Nope, bye, click X, I'm out of here. I go to their door, hi, I'm James with Century 21. I was calling to see if you had any interest in selling your house. Nope, click X, bye. They don't even have to look where to click X. They just like, okay. And my equivalent of lead generation in person yields me a better quality lead because I'm talking to them face to face and on the phone. I get to them before they click on Zillow, Realtor.com, and your Facebook advertising. So I get to them. I get their name, number, and email address. I get a lead. To me, let me define a lead. Guys, if you want to write this down or rewrite it or put it on your wall, a lead is somebody who can say yes but they don't say no. You hear me on this? Think really deep about this. A lead is a person who says yes, who can say yes, and they don't say no. That's my threshold. So I go to the door, the homeowner says hi. I say, hi, my name's Agent with Company. I was just wondering if you're thinking of selling your house. And they're like, no, not right now. That to me, with the trained ear and the Festini formula, says, you think maybe later down the road? Maybe. We'll get in the conversation. Hey, you don't believe me? You don't believe me? Let me show you. Let me show you today's Spotio. This was awesome. I was on the internet live lead generation on the internet. And I'm going to open up Spotio and I'm going to show you today. Well, I haven't. I've been doing a bad job of refreshing it. Right here on the internet crowd. For the internet crowd, you can see what number do you see? Right there, 24 leads. 24 leads. Let me go to today real quick. Today, done. Today. I'm not making this up. You saw this on the fly. Today. Oh, I wish it would zoom. Come on, focus on this thing. Oh, it's on this side? It's on that side? I don't know if you can see it. 7. Today. August 22nd. From 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, I generated 7 legitimate bona fide leads. Now, remember my level threshold. In my opinion, my leads are equal to an internet inquiry, but more often than not, they are way better. You see, every once in a while, I'll get someone who hesitates and slams the door on me. Like one of these here is a homeowner. One of them was like, maybe, but I didn't really get a sense. Okay, it was a little old lady who came out and said, yeah, maybe later. And we had a conversation, and then she's like, a little bit of conversation about the market and this and that. And then I was like, well, great, I'd love to keep in touch. Maybe I can send you out some information, maybe by email. And it was the weirdest thing. Like she's like, oh no, I'm probably gonna leave it to my kids. Turns around, walks in the house, and closes the door without looking back. I was like, okay, bye. It was like this weird conversation. If you were there, it was weird. Like talking. And then as soon as I went in for the close, it was like a switch flipped off. Maybe she was elderly, so maybe there was like a switch that like she blew a fuse right there. It happens. And she walked away. So, but to me, because she said maybe in 6 months, that's a lead. That's a lead. If somebody says maybe, that's a lead. A lead is someone who can say yes and doesn't say no. What is that? That is a maybe. A lead is someone who can say yes. So if a renter says yes, is that a lead? No. If a renter says no, is that a contact? No. So you're following my drift. You guys have to understand just how much time and money and effort and knowledge I have invested into this system that I have. If you guys are interested in finding out more of what it is I'm doing to generate a lead every 30 minutes, I'm telling you, man, this was live on the internet. These 7 leads, I would deem 5 of them to be like, the equivalent of a Facebook inquiry, circa 2012. Like that was good, right? I would and 3 of them I would put them the equivalent of home gain circa 2005. That's how good they are. And one of them, but see the thing is that I personally get a name, number, email address from these individuals. They know me, and once I plug them into my system, the Festini formula, I've got a very specific thing that happens after I get the lead. I don't just it's follow up to the power, right? If you do what I do and you follow what I do and you want to learn to do what I do, this is how you do it. I can teach you. My gift to the world, as lame-o as it is lead generation. If your problem is lead conversion and you've been calling your internet inquiries a lead, I found the solution to your problem. You're calling them leads. If your problem is you don't have any leads, I found the solution. It's called hire me as a one-on-one coach. Give me 90 days of your time and I will have you generating leads, bona fide listing leads on day one. Like, I expect a lot from you, and anyone who's ever been a part of my one-on-one or anyone who knows anything knows that Festini don't F around. I don't mess around. I expect you to do exactly what I'm doing. I expect you to pick up the phone and telephone prospect, and I expect you to door knock. That's all there is to it. And I go into like these waves where like I'll see another coach or guru and they're being soft on you and they're like, no, build relationships. No, do for sale by owners. Do this, do that. And I'm like, maybe I should cater to that crowd, but that would be a disservice to those of you who really, really want nothing but one thing. How can I get a name and a number and an email address of an individual who might be thinking of selling right now? Like right now. But if I can't get it right now, how can I start building a database? See, I don't know anyone. I can't build relationships. I don't have a database. I can't work. I don't have a past client sphere of influence. Okay, fine. I've already tapped out my sphere of influence. There's only so many times I can ask my cousin if they're thinking, if they know of anyone. Like once you exhaust that, once you're sitting there at your desk and you're like, okay, I've done everything that all the other gurus have done, and now I'm sitting here with nothing to show for it. That's when I step in, because I say whatever all of those gurus teach and promote, I don't say it doesn't work. I'm just saying it might not be work. What I'm showing you is work. And anyone who's successful, like crazy successful in this real estate business, they're going to tell you it's work. The only ones who tell you it's not work are the unicorns or someone who's trying to sell you some program on something they've never done. And what I mean by unicorns is someone who has developed some program that might not work for you. Or maybe they're selling you on old cheese that's moved. Old cheese doesn't work in this case because old cheese is supposed to be valuable and people like old cheese. So maybe not the cheese theory on that thing, but on other things, on other fronts. So there you have my theory as to why I think internet inquiries should be called inquiries and why internet leads might suck. And I predict right now they're going to suck more. I'm going to predict that if you implement bots, you're going to lose just as many internet inquiries as you get by pulling that bot stuff, because they're going to catch on to it. No matter how good the bot is, people find out. Here's a bot. You ready? A finger, a phone. Hi, this is James. I noticed that you were looking at the place on Kingsbriar. Yeah, I just thought I'd call you back. Yeah. Oh, you're busy right now? Okay, great. Can I text you or call you back? When's a good time? Okay. Thank you for your time on the phone. Whenever you're ready, give me a call. I don't want to bug you, but if you want to find out more information, let me know. Or just go, hey Siri, respond to that. Learn these things. Learn the work. Do the work. The market has shifted. August, September, October 2018, there was a shift. It started happening in July. I started seeing it in July. A home that I would list in the same neighborhood would sell like that. Now it's taking a little bit longer. There is two perfect storms brewing right now. One is the perfect storm of the teams, the internet inquiries, the Zillows, the Trulia.coms. All of that stuff now is becoming more difficult for these team leaders and these real estate gurus to sell to you, and brokers and managers and team leaders to sell to you to come join them. All of these internet marketers trying to sell you a package, whether it's a formula for getting inquiries online, for making yourself popular, whether it's video and being the next digital mayor, which I have the formula for that, but it ain't what you think. All of this marketing that you've been investing in or that you've been reluctant to invest in, if you haven't, the cheese moved anyhow, so no big deal, is a perfect storm with this market shifting. The inventory drying up, not the inventory drying up, the inventory increasing. The inventory is going up, homes are taking longer to sell, and your ability to market these things, you can't spend money on figuring out how to generate leads. You've got to figure out how to generate leads on your own muscle power, and find my suggestion to you. This is a very long video, but I hope it's valuable to you. My prediction in 2019 is going to be an increase in the inventory. The person who gets the name and the number and email address of that individual The person who gets 10 listings in January and 10 listings in February and 10 listings in March, as the inventory increases, and they're not spending their money on internet lead inquiry, but they're spending their money on on marketing their listings. And once you have listings, you don't have to look for internet lead inquiry. You just put your stuff on Zillow and Truly and Realtor.com. You put your listings there, and you put your listings on Facebook ads. And if you don't have any, and this is one of the things I haven't talked about, is Facebook advertising works so much better when it's your listing. Let me separate that too. That's a huge separate. I should have mentioned that sooner. When you have a listing and you market a listing on Facebook, you can generate way more leads than if you're just whatever it else you're doing. What are the top 10, dingleberries to smack off your butt and Christmas? Whatever the hell you're doing on Facebook. You get a listing, you get to market that, you get the calls, you get the buyers, you get the internet inquiries, you get the open houses. There's a lot of things that can happen. So here's my prediction for 2019 and my strong recommendation for 2018 as it tail ends, and even 2019 and beyond. Here's what I'm recommending. Go out immediately. If you're about to spend $500 on anything, on anything, go spend it. Hurry up, because that cheese is still, maybe there's still some cheese left. But if you've got what it takes to door knock and cold call, if you've got what it takes, if you're like, you know what, I can do that. I've been watching for years. I'm like, why don't you say something? I feel so unpopular. You guys watch me, but you don't say anything. You subscribe, but you don't buy my products. You like. I'm trying to figure this out, but I'm a real estate agent, not a freaking internet marketer. I'm trying to give you guys the truth, and I can speak the truth, but truth is hard to swallow. Here's my suggestion. If you're about to spend more than $500 a month for the next 3 months, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. That's my suggestion. Give me that money. Give me that money. Hire me as a one-on-one coach, and I will teach you how to generate a lead every 30 minutes. Don't believe me? Why not? Why would you not believe me? I'm not live. Don't believe me. Have you been watching this at all? Has this thing been on? You know this is me, right? This is me talking to you. Save your money. Learn to fish. I will teach you how to fish. You guys have been buying fish. Teach a man to fish, you feed him forever. Give him a fish. They keep coming for more fish. The problem with the internet lead inquiry is that Zillow has been handing you fish, and the cost of fish has been increasing dramatically. The amount of fish that you're getting have been increasing, but they're like smaller fish, and they stink, and they got a lot of bones. Where back in the day, we would have the best fish. Now we're getting like bottom feeding fish and crap fish. If that's what you're into, keep doing it. If it's working for you, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying it might not be work. I'm not saying internet leads are dead. I'm just saying that they might not be totally alive. That cheese has moved, and don't worry about it. In the next couple of years, we'll figure something out. Maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Snapchat, maybe it's YouTube. Who knows where it is? I just know since 1993, I've been doing one thing, prospecting. And guess what? Throughout that entire time, I can follow the trends and I can jump on a little bandwagon, but I'm not dumping all my eggs into that basket expecting riches from it, because it doesn't happen. It's a unicorn. It's a fairy tale. It's only a few people who figure it out, get it right, but that's not me. And that might not be you. And once you realize that people are selling you the sizzle and all you really need is steak, that's where you're being misled. The internet marketers of real estate products have been very good at selling you the sizzle with no steak. That steak has been eaten. Now it's just burps. You're not even getting the sizzle anymore. You're getting steak burps. I'm telling you. If you're into steak burps, keep buying them. But I go out and create my own leads every day. Today I got 7. Say 4 of them are good. One of them says, yeah, definitely, like January. The prediction for 2019 is the person with the most leads wins. Do you hear me? The person with the most leads wins. It's been that way real estate is a contact sport. Real estate is a numbers game. And the name of the game is listings. If you want to learn how to play at the highest level before it's too late, before the rules change again, before the game doesn't even exist, before the popularity of how we play it, if you want to learn the fundamentals, if you're ready to do this, if you've made it through 50 minutes of James Festini ranting on a really serious topic, please do yourselves a favor and invest in yourself. I promise you, I will teach you how to fish. And it's not like I'm teaching you something that you can't apply tomorrow or the next day or the next day. I'm teaching you something that I do every day. And if you just want to go out, if you want, like, how much would you pay for a lead? I heard somewhere in a study that the average internet lead is like $80, and they called it a lead. I'm thinking the average internet inquiry is $80. So what is that? How much are you paying? How much would you pay if I told you I could get you 100 bona fide listing leads? How much would you pay for that? Well, right now you're paying, what, is it 8,000? Is my math bad? Or 800? It's $80. Then yeah, it's 8,000, right? Oh, please don't rip me apart on that replay if my math is bad. What I'm getting at is, you hire me as a one-on-one coach. By the end of the 90 days, I guarantee you, and no one can make this guarantee, I guarantee because I'm doing it, otherwise I couldn't guarantee it, that you will have a minimum of 100 bona fide listing leads. But you know what? That's not really the case right now, because I made like 30 calls today by phone, and I generated one lead, name, number, email address, and I got my phone that says I got 7. So I got 8 leads. If I did 8 times 5, let's just say it's even half of that. Right? 4 a day. 4 times 5, 20. 20 leads a day. 20, 40, 60, 80. 80 times 3. Now, I'm using this like half math. In the next 90 days, I'm going to have a database of roughly 200 individuals who said maybe to me. Now think about the expired list. Think about the for sale by owners. Think about what the other gurus say are good, right? Any other guru would be like, call the expireds, call the for sale by owners. They're the low hanging fruit. They're not. Let's compare that database, the old expireds, new expireds, expireds for sale by owners. Let's put that on a scale and weigh it to mine. Old expireds, you get 100 of the old expireds. 50% of them are on the do not call list, so bye-bye to that. Say another like 10% of them are like either relisted or sold, right? And now you've got these. Are they going to sell? Are they going to list? Is it going to be you? Have they been hammered? Will they pick up the phone? Will they ignore you? Okay, maybe like 10 of them are. 10 of them are people who say maybe you get maybe you don't. And they're being pummeled. Or you put it against my database of 100. Now I've got 200. Now, this is the funny thing too, is like the old expireds. I'll take my 200 and say, you know what? Let's just chip off the bottom half and let's take the top half of mine and compare it. Who's gonna have a better list? What list is better? Expireds that are like all crap, or homeowners who have said maybe to my face and I've obtained them through doors and phones? Pound for pound, there's no contest. I win. The one with the most leads win. The one thing I'm not going to tell you is that I'm the #1 agent. I'm not going to tell you I'm the greatest ever at like team building. I'm not going to say that I'm the best at for sale by owners or expireds, because I don't want you guys to go in and be like, well, how many sides, how much commission, how many teams, how many this, do you have an ISA, da 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 da. I'm only focusing on one thing now. I'm only focusing on one thing, one message, one purpose, one vision: lead generation. On your own sweat, with your own calories, by mouth and foot. That's it. If you are looking for a way to generate leads on your own muscle, I'm the guy. There is nobody. Like, go ahead and put in the comments below and tell me if there's someone else. I'd be curious to find out. I don't think there's anybody on the internet or planet Earth. I mean, am I crazy to think that? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I need to get out more. I don't think there's anybody who is generating a listing lead well, I say every half hour, but let's just be fine. Let's just be every hour, right? A name, a number, and an email address for every hour that I prospect. I do that. Is anyone else doing that? Oh, I know. Is anyone else doing it for the cost 300 bucks a month? I mean, if you want to do the math, Mojo, Spotio, um, notepads, like not even notepads now. Right now, I'm just using my Streamline Propaganda. This is all I'm dropping off now. Where is it? This is really all I'm dropping off now, and I pull these things off at less than 3 cents a piece. No, 0.3 cents a piece. These little pieces. So I'm not even I'm not spending money on the. I can rant on this topic of lead generation and why internet leads might suck for an hour. What do you think I can do to your real estate career? What do you think I'm capable of in this industry to help you be the best you that you can be? I'm not making this up. I'm not winging it. I know what I'm talking about. The shift is here. The market has changed. I've been doing this since 1993. I've seen it coming. Inventory is going to go up. Interest rates may or may not go up just a little bit. I hope I can see this video in a year, right? Interest rates go up just a hair. Property values either go down or stay the same, provided everything else stays the same. I'm not that good at predicting these things. But if internet inquiries diminish and inventory increases, then where are you getting this inventory? Because the one with the most listing wins. Listings are the name of the game. How are you going to get their information if they're not really on the internet? And you really don't have time for that because the market's already shifted. You need to hurry up and like get these. You need them now. So the inventory goes up. You need listings. What is the shortest point between you and that individual? Me. So you get the inventory goes up in 2019, interest rates go up, market values flatten, it takes longer to sell. Now, you're not going to be able to just go out and get a listing from wherever you got them before and sell them. Now, what you need to do is have like 10, maybe 20 listings under your belt, sitting, catering, marketing, sharing, helping, uh, hand holding, pacifying, canceling, relisting, holding, whatever, right? Pre-marketing, all this stuff is going to matter now. Now, in 2019, there's going to be a decrease in real estate agents. You're going to see that. Watch the MLS. I'm going to predict that too. The amount of agents getting their license and going out of the business will be bigger. Less licenses, more people getting out of the business because they don't know how to suck on the teat, right? They've been like on Zillow, the teat of Zillow. They've been on the teat of the leads. They've been able to generate internet inquiries with so little effort. But now, since the cheese is, it's still there. I'm not saying they're dead. I'm just saying they suck. Because I'm buying some of them. I've told you, I spend a couple bucks to find out. Yeah, they still suck. And I've had the best of the best Facebook marketing. I'm not going to say their name, but I had the best of the best Facebook marketing gurus, the people who are like the creme de la creme of tell me how to do this Facebook ad. I'm gonna spend 500 bucks a month or 1,000 bucks a month. Let me convert these. I know how to do it, and I call them, and they're not there. And I've got a database still of those internet inquiries from like 2013, 2014, where they got when they were good, when I would call them good in the beginning of this video, and they're still tire kicking. A man don't walk on the lot unless he wants to buy, and they're getting worse. Now they definitely don't walk on the lot. Now the sign calls are diminishing. Now the foot traffic coming into the house. This is the age of the internet. What do you think is the next big move? You still have to get the inventory. You need to get your inventory up. If you are not a listing machine in 2019, you might have to look for another job. I'm just telling you now. So if you want to invest, take a chance on me. Please take a chance on me. Hire me as a one-on-one coach. Please don't let this opportunity pass you by. One more prediction of 2019. I won't be available at 1,500 bucks for 3 months. That is a definite. In 2019, my rates will double for one-on-one coaching. No doubt about it. You won't find me. And if I continue to gain popularity and people start seeing my truth and hearing what I have to say, my rates will double again. I have to be true to my word, and I have to be able to give more, but I got to make some too. And if my word gets out there and it's value, I'm going to give it to you. So thank you again. I appreciate hour of your time. I hope I made this message clear. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You know where to find me, but when the student is ready, the master will appear. In here still watching, it's because I give you guys I've given you the truth. I've spoken my word. Thank you for watching. Oh, most important, if you're serious about one-on-one, find me. Don't be like, where do I find your website? You can find me, okay? It's in the link below, but I always get people like, I'm interested in coaching. Tell me more. I'm like, no, no, you go back and I'm the real. You want me? Let's do this thing, man. I mean, we're already in love. Let's get in bed. Let's do it. All right, get back to work or go to bed, whatever it is, man. It's 1 hour, guys. Told you it was gonna be straight fire. Call me, email me, text me, find me, hire me.